Hello and welcome everyone to our brand new show, the Chroma Talk Show, where we talk everything about the new tech trends, concepts, and the ideas of testing solutions. My name is Tu. I am marketing specialist from Chroma AT Europe, and together with me today, I would like to introduce you, Adam Kowalski and Arvind Vijayakumar.
Hello, my name is Adam Kowalski and I am a sales specialist for Chroma AT Europe based in the Netherlands. My responsibilities are mainly to support, develop a solution for automated test systems and battery test systems for EV cars.
Hi, I'm Arvind Vijayakumar. So I work here as an systems application engineer. So I support the sales team and I also try to support the customers regarding their application questions.
Thank you, and Adam and Arvind, for joining me today. So in this first episode, we will talk about battery technology, EV battery, and the battery test solutions. To start with, I would like to ask you questions. Do you feel that there are more and more EV on the roads right now? Is it becoming a trend in Europe?
That's a very good observation indeed. There are more and more electric vehicles in Europe. The statistics supports that statement. We see that governments are promoting, subsidizing the usage of electric vehicles so that they will be purchased. Of course, looking at the statistics, I think only in 2019 there were almost 600,000 of them on the roads. And the EV market in Europe increased by 25%. And we expect that the EV market size is expected to reach 4.1 million by 2021. That was the expectations. I think we are already over that figure. And the general trend is we think that the forecast up to 2029 will reach $95 billion in sales.
Very interesting. But is it true that now the battery manufacturing cost is much higher compared to the traditional engine technology?
I see you put a lot of emphasis on the word much. It is maybe not much, but it is getting less and less expensive in comparison to traditional vehicles to manufacture a car. Of course, the battery pack is still the most expensive part of the electric vehicle. Mm-hmm. However, if you look at what was the price of kilowatt hour in a car manufactured in 2010, it was around $1,100 US. Currently, we in 2022, the price of that was ranging between $150 and $200, and we currently expect that the trend will continue, and by 2023, the price of kilowatt hour will go below $100 US. So that is a quite significant decrease in the manufacturing costs, and in the end of the price of the electric vehicle.
So very interesting figures. I'm more and more curious about the battery technology. So Arvind, can you give me and everyone a brief explanation of this technology?
Sure. So for the electric vehicles, let it be plug-in or the hybrid electric vehicles, they use a lithium-ion battery. So there are mainly three components in a battery. There is a cathode, anode, and a separator. So with the advancements in the material science, now we have a better materials for cathode and anode. And also the separator, we are now using a very, very thin materials. So the main goal is that now they want the battery to be as compact as possible. So as a result, we are now having a small or a very thin separators. So the testing for these batteries have now become very difficult because of its size limitations. And as a result, if there is any improper measurement, it can lead to some serious issues in the future, like a battery explosion that can happen when you're trying to charge your battery.
You're right. I see more and more bad examples of battery explosion around.
Well, there are several examples that we can talk about. I think the most recent ones are the possible hazardous situation that occurred in one of the largest capitals of Europe, where 2 electric buses caught fire during the charging process. And in the end, since those were not the only 2 buses in the whole city fleet of electric buses, the rest of them, I think approximately 150, had to stay in the garage to wait for the inspection to make sure that similar situation will not occur. And this, of course, led to extra cost of ownership for the city council.
So the raising concern is, do EV battery manufacturers have a proper safety testing process? But first, I would like to know more about the cause of the battery explosions.
So regarding the cause, it could be, in my opinion, it could be due to the internal short circuit that might happen because of some metal particles or some burr particles that may exist in the separators. So for example, if you look at this figure 2, so this is like a temperature profile for different metal particles, and when these metal particles are present on the separator, they can kind of generate a heat in this localized area. So as a result, this can lead to the explosion while charging the battery. So if you look at figure 3, so this is an example where these metal particles, they are pierced into the separator, and now they have a direct contact from cathode to anode. So this leads to the internal short circuit.
It's interesting you mentioned that it's happening during the charge and discharge process, because this is actually the key process in the battery cell. As you know, due to the charging process, the battery can inflate up to 24% or even more. And after the cycles are being repeated for a longer period of time, the inflation will, of course, be visible more and more. During the manufacturing process of battery cells, the manufacturers, they always take quality into account. They want to make sure that the battery cells are perfect or near perfect. That's why where there are any visible bursts that can cause problems in the future, if they are being detected by the system, those battery cells will not be led through the quality assurance process. However, if we see if there are small bursts, like a micro bursts, which have not been detected by the standard testing methods, the battery will eventually end up in a battery pack. And after many discharging cycles, that one particular battery cell might be the cause of the larger problems, like the one with the electric vehicles that happened recently. Chroma can help to discover those micro bursts using our technology to predict what will be the lifetime of the battery and the possibility of failure.
Now we're coming back to the main questions. So what are the required testing steps for batteries?
So, regarding the testing steps, it's mainly defined by the norms that is put out by each country. So each country will have some testing standards that the manufacturer has to compile and make sure that they kind of get certified for these standards. So for example, if a manufacturer wants to get their product certified under Europe, they need to go through some standards. If you look at this figure, so in Europe they follow these IEC standards. In China they follow the GB standards. So the testing steps is mainly dictated by the standards that's mentioned by the government.
That seems there are so many standards. So how does Chroma make it easier for the battery manufacturers?
Well, Chroma is specialized in hardware. However, software is also a big part of the solution. Our software is capable of testing batteries for all types of standards which are commonly used around the world. We have already implemented those standard test recipes into the system, so you don't need to start with the empty page. You start with the complete test recipe which is already present in the software, and then you can adjust it to kind of be able to meet your needs. So this is how Chroma does it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we can support many different tests, starting from simple battery cells, modules, and complete battery packs up to 600 kilowatt, where there's also a need to interface with BMS system, battery management system, to verify if the BMS and communication is in place, and if the system is working correctly, also in terms of safety. So this is something that makes Chroma a one-stop shop for battery testing solutions.
Thank you. And it also concludes our first episode. Thank you, Adam and Arvind, for joining me today. In the second episode, we will go in depth into the battery testing solutions that Chroma is now providing. So if you like this new talk show, please like and share. And don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.